What's going on YouTube? Jeff coming at ya. So the 94 Accord bit the dust. Make a long story short, yesterday when I was driving around, my RPM gauge and my speedometer started just fluctuating crazy. And I knew something was up with the car, but the car was still running fine-ish. Started heading back towards my shop, and yeah, RPM and the speedo is just bouncing from 0 to whatever I was currently doing at the time and stuff. Get about a block away from the shop, boom, flat line, car died, no start issue. Engine would crank over, nothing would come on. Dash lights would still come on and stuff like that. But what's funny was when I was driving around, whenever the RPM and speedo would start bleeping out on me, I would lose power to my turn signals and indicators and stuff. Usually on Hondas and Acuras, when the RPM gauge starts bouncing around, most people jump right to the distributor. There's an igniter in there and a coil that can mimic those symptoms as well. And by all means, you know, double check, cancel that out as well. But I found a good video on YouTube on how to diagnose your ignition switch. Boop. Obviously that controls power to most parts of your car and stuff. So there's a good little diagram right here, so you can pause the video and download that right there. Sorry for the crude drawing, but it works, and it shows what each port does. So this connector right here is the back end of my ignition switch right here, and it plugs into the back of your fuse panel right there. It's just one clip. Push the tab in, pull this out. Okay, make sure your battery's disconnected for this. We're measuring resistance, we're not looking for voltage. Okay, so you get your own meter, voltmeters, get it set to resistance right there. This one's nice because it's got an audible beep. You can also get a resistance test light for a couple of bucks or whatever. Light will flash, do the exact same thing. Okay, so as per this drawing right here, we're going to be measuring our accessories right now. So if we look at the key, the actual ignition, okay, your first line right here is accessories 1. That's all your low voltage stuff. That's your clock, that's your stereo and stuff like that, low voltage. Number 2 right here is your high voltage signal. That's going to power your ECM, that's going to power your coil and stuff like that. Send power to the alternator. Number 3 right there, that's your start. That sends 12 volts right to your starter. Okay, so I'm going to focus in 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So with the pins that I have set up right there, your white wire right there is your 12 volt in from the battery. And then everything else is going out via the switch right there. Okay. So we have this set up on accessory 1 to test. Okay, so we should get a beep when we go to accessory power. Okay, you can hear the machine going off. That means that's good. We should also get it on switch 2. Okay, but then there should be nothing when we go to start the car, because this is your low accessory switch. Okay, but when we let go, the power is restored. So that part is good. Okay. We then move this prong to this one. Sort of hard to do with one hand there. Okay, I think I got that. Then flip the key over. So now we're on the secondary set. So now we don't have power for your low setting. We should have an audible beep. See, we should have a constant beep on number 2, because now we have power for our accessories, and we should have power for start. Okay, we have power for start, so the engine wants to crank over right now. But when you let go, there's no power. Now if we jiggle the key enough and play with it, just give me a second. Oh. There. Okay, so now if the car was running and I had it like that, everything would be fine. It's got power, but you see how easy, just barely even touched it, the power's gone. So that right there is a failed ignition switch. That is why my car is not running. That is what I need to replace. But you know what? I could have been troubleshooting so many things. I could have been replacing, you know, ECM. I could have been replacing the coil in the igniter, full distributor if I wanted to. I could have been chasing fuel pump. Need tools to diagnose things. Always diagnose before just swapping parts and trying to fix it that way. Never gets anywhere. A good ohm meter, voltmeter is freaking awesome. Actually, this one is my works one. I have a pretty good Mastercraft one, but it doesn't have the audible resistance, so I'd have to keep looking back to make sure it was at 0 where there was no resistance. No resistance means there's no breaks in the wires. If you get resistance, a high number, that means there's a break, there's a contact that's lost, and so on and so forth. Power signals can't get sent through. Hope this video finds you well, guys. This worked on 94 to 1997 Honda Accord. No start issue, crank, but no spark. I will post an updated video tomorrow when I go to the wreckers and get a different ignition switch to prove that in fact, what was wrong with the car. But this should work for lots of Hondas, and this should work for lots of different cars and stuff like that. As long as you can find a schematic for what your ignition switch, where the power is going, and you know what it's supposed to be doing, you can go ahead and troubleshoot from there. Hope you guys like this video. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell button so you guys get notifications whenever I drop a new video and stuff. I have exciting news coming for my channel in the next month. You're gonna want to see it. It's epic. It's awesome. You guys are going to love it. Take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.